Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about something I keep seeing everywhere, how a lot of women today want to be like men. And honestly, it's wild to me. So buckle up, because these takes are pretty interesting. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it.
What are these little boys talking about? What part of me is wanting to be a man? I just want to be me. Does that scare you?
When the woman leads a relationship, guess what happens? Resentment, chaos, and destruction. Because without guidance, without love, without consideration, I hate to say it, women are demolition experts.
Woman, she already had some kind of masculine features, like deeper voice, deeper whatever. She decided to be a man because she wanted to see how men were treated. Not strange, an experiment. She ended up killing herself after like a year and a half of this because she said she was treated so horribly by women that she couldn't even believe that this is how men lived. And I was like, no way, but I can see it. I can see that you guys don't speak up. You don't say the things that we need to hear because you want to love us. You want to support us. You want to be there for us, but you guys are you're supposed to be the strong one. Yeah. You're supposed to be these things. And yet we've been fighting to be your equal, fighting to be the alpha. And out of kindness, you guys are stepping back, but it's a losing war for both of us.
Ladies, how are we going to get on the same page? We agree on most shit, right? You think that we disagree on a lot, sweetheart? Like what? Like what? Really? I went to one of them women's marches and we had a lot in common. I saw those girls screaming, "Free the nipple." Yeah, that sounds pretty good. They were screaming, "We should be able to have sex with as many guys as we want." Yes, you should. If we get pregnant, we should be able to abort it. Hopefully. And we need to work so we can pay our half. Hallelujah. Fellas, get down here. It's happening. We've reached common ground. It was unbelievable. These women were fighting for the right to become the men they've always hated. Just walking around with their shirts off, fucking whoever, not worried about the kid. I'm like, are y'all feminists or fuckboys? What is this shit?
Okay, so you're saying you want this. You remember you said earlier, you want this in a woman, right? You need to be fit, blah, blah, blah. What do you bring? You fit? You go to the gym?
Yeah, I do go to the gym, actually. I do go to the gym. I provide. I'm a protector. I'm a leader of my household. And I don't, and the woman that I want is definitely not an alpha woman. I want a feminine woman. We don't talk about feminine women no more because women want to be men. When's the last time we had a conversation about femininity? No, because y'all want to be so masculine. I got to be masculine because of this. I got to be masculine because of this. I'm an alpha woman because of this. When are we going to get back to talking about femininity?
Where is
Women. When are women going to get back to talk about femininity?
Where has that stemmed from?
I don't care where it stemmed from. I worked hard in my life to make a living and support for my family. I don't give a fuck about what you had to go through in your life. I need a feminine woman. If you can't be that, then you got to kick rocks.
Rumble, all these platforms that want to slowly close the gap with these RP content creators, that stuff is already out there. You can shut us down all you want, but men are smartening up. Men are being bitter. And I say it like this too, a lot of women need to really be careful and watch themselves because a lot of men who are not getting companionship with a woman, love, they gonna start swinging at y'all, and it's gonna be a real big problem out here. It's gonna be a real big problem for a lot of women because y'all want to act like a man. You want to think you in control of this situation. Oh no.
Well, I thought my message was very straightforward and clear. A lot of women understood where I was coming from because we go through the same situations. Even a lot of men understood where I was coming from and agreed with me. But then there was the other men that just didn't understand and like to argue. But that's the beauty of interpretation. What I was simply saying is that women should guard their heart more like men do. We get hurt and we ready to just try again, or we're ready to forgive somebody that betrayed us. Men, one and done, cut off. And they guard their heart. Not that they will never fall in love, but they take their time. That's actually a compliment that I was giving men, but y'all like to argue. So, yeah, I just was basically saying, women, we need to tighten up. Like, let's be just as strict with our heart and our feelings and our love as men are.
Women were made to be submissive. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. Submissive as in like, I don't need to think of how to plan. There's a man protecting, fighting, providing. I am here to provide different things. And I know my role. I'm here to maintain his spirituality, his mental health, to make his life easy. I'm here to love, to be friends, to inspire. I am the power of creation as a feminine. And his job is to protect me in 3D. My job is to protect him up there, astral, as 5D. Women are very spiritual. So I want a man that I can just be the woman I want to be and practice my magic and love and all that. And I want a man to lead me. Every woman loves that. And it's not disrespecting women. I can be a boss bitch outside. I can go outside. I can crush it in meetings. I can bring you money. I can do whatever you need. But when I go home, I don't want to be that. I want to be spoiled. I want to be with a man that I can open up to and he can guide me and inspire me back.
I think the biggest disconnect is now there is a role reversal. People can say what they want. I will never believe that life is supposed to go in any other order other than our men being leaders and our women being followers. And even if I think
That's cold. Go ahead though.
even if
I
I
ain't
think
stopping.
about how I raised my kids, I noticed, and this is another good thing about if you can quiet the outside noise of the world, you'll find your own faults. With my sons, I coddled my sons, and then I taught my girls to be hard. And then if you look at the byproduct of that, like in women today and men today, now we have these super strong, independent women, and we have these soft little boys. So the roles have switched. So now we have masculine women and feminine men, and then we're fighting each other on it. And it has to go back to normal. I feel like almost scientifically, if there's not a, in my opinion, my perspective, a natural order of the man being the head and the one following, the relationship will almost always fail.
So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. When I was married or when I was in my past relationships and a man didn't wear the pants, I had to take off my skirt and put the pants in the relationship. If a man can't show up and can't be a man and an alpha, then guess what? A woman has to be that alpha. So a lot of men in my life forced me to wear the pants because they had their skirts on. This is what people don't understand, that when I have been forced to be masculine by men who were not alphas, and I had to show up for the family and I had to pay the rent, the food, everything, I had to. But when a woman is in a relationship where the man doesn't show up, she has to put the pants on. So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. Show me an alpha man that is in his true alpha, not in his wounded masculine, but his full-on masculine, and watch me become a sweet, soft little girl. I need a man that is fully in his energy, masculine energy. And when a man gives that woman that feeling, that safety, that energy, that love, you can feel it. Then a woman deassembles her masculine energy and she falls into her feminine and she becomes a child with that man. But sadly, I have not met those.
You know, back in the day, the differences between men and women were clear, not just biologically, but in roles and how people carried themselves. But now, everywhere you look, there's this trend of women wanting to match men in every single thing, competing in the workplace like it's a head-to-head battle, trying to show that they don't need a man, and adopting the same attitudes men traditionally had about relationships, dating, even lifestyle.
So masculinity is a problem because it is a condition where you will fight back, which is the number one thing that they never wanted. Where there are masculine men, there are safer environments. And what do I mean? This whole toxic masculinity farce that people try to toss out here. The term toxic masculinity came from two Caucasian men. There we go again. Shepard Bliss and Robert J. Stoller. Number two, if that term came out and then it became overshadowing of what masculinity is, it blurs the lines of what masculinity is and what it is not. So now what people perceive as masculinity is putting their hands on a woman. That's masculine. No, that's not what masculinity is. Masculinity would prevent a man from putting his hands on his woman. Masculinity protects the community. Masculinity raises and respects children. Masculinity secures women. Masculinity makes it to where you're not going to step over here and not get checked if you don't operate properly. That's what masculinity is. Toxicity is the opposite of masculinity. You can't even put those together because the other thing is you knew it was an agenda because you never hear people talk about toxic femininity. But it's always toxic masculinity. Why? Because the agenda is to make the man weak. Because if you have weak men, you have women who are not going to be able to be protected. So if they don't have their security, we'll be able to take control of them. It is the same tactic in a new package in this generation where they are looking at make sure we are able to destroy them slowly but surely and make sure they don't have any men to protect them. Even though women can protect themselves, they shouldn't have to.
Question for the men's. Do you believe that men and women are being purposefully divided by society? And if you believe this, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on what we could do to slow, prevent, reverse this from happening.
What a fantastic question. Well, actually, two of them. And let me dive right in and answer the first one, because it's pretty simple. Do I believe that there's some sort of systemic plan to divide men and women? Absolutely there is. They're not even trying to hide it. In fact, they've been very overt that that's been the goal. And the primary mechanism driving that is called feminism. Feminism has stated for 50 years now that their goal is to divide men and women, to create division and rancor. And it's not an exaggeration to say they've succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. They've literally gotten it to the point where neither side is interested in dating, relationships, or marriage. And it's why the rates of all of those are plummeting. It's also why in a few short years, more than half of all women are going to be alone and childless. And sadly, as more and more women are finding out, it doesn't bring them the happiness they were told it was going to. That strength and independence that they were told would solve all their problems and achieve their wildest dreams is turning into a nightmare. And on the other side, men have seen it for what it is, a war against them, where they've been vilified for simply being men, blamed for all of society's ills, and told they were unwanted and unneeded. They heard all of that and have decided to walk away, which leads to the answer of the second question that you asked, which is what can be done to reverse it. The answer right now is abso-freaking-lutely nothing. Because as I just said, men have seen and heard what's been going on. They see how today's modern women view them and treat them. Or should I say, mistreat them. They've seen how they've been vilified simply because they're men. And they've decided to walk away. And they're not looking back, and they're not coming back anytime soon. It's going to take about another 50 years before this reverses. And that 50-year clock isn't even going to start until the majority of women tell the small minority that is trying to create this division to stop doing it. Something they haven't done yet. As I said, we're 3 to 4 generations in of this division being created. It's going to take at least that to turn it around.
I've never seen a generation of women like I have today, where women want to be men so badly. Y'all want to lead the relationship. Y'all want to be the leaders. Y'all want to dictate everything. Y'all want to be combative and argue with the man. Why do you want to be a man so badly? But I'm going to tell you why a lot of these women get these toxic traits. It's because they were raised by single moms who literally hated men because they decided to not heal from their trauma. And so they teach this nonsense to their daughters. So then their daughters grow up and then come out here and literally try to ruin men's lives and be combative and want to lead the relationship and want to argue about double standards. Oh, well, if a man can sleep around with as many women as he wants to, then I should be able to do it too and not be judged. No, that's not how that goes. First of all, what happened to being a lady? What happened to being a lady? Nobody wants that no more. Y'all, it really needs to stop, because y'all only talk about double standards and how y'all don't like it when it benefits you. Y'all need some healing. You're not a man. Stop trying to be a man. Let the man lead. It's okay to help him, to be his helper like it was designed to be. Y'all got to get it together.
You know, I hear the part where she was saying, you know, I don't want to be judged, or I shouldn't be judged if I sleep around or if I do some of the same things that men do. And I don't know where y'all got that we're not judged. We're absolutely judged. We're judged, and not only are we judged, we're held accountable for every single thing that we do on this earth. The difference is that we can take it. We can deal with it. We can, stomach whatever the results are, good or bad. We'll leave it all on the floor. And if we fail, then we just own it. Most of us, it's a lot of feminine men that was raised in single parent households by their mothers nowadays. But most of us can take whatever comes with that. Women can't take it when they fail. Women can't take it when then they're criticized, or you come into a man's space, or you decide to approach it or go into a career field or make some of the similar decisions that come along with being the head of the household and choosing for yourself. And so the ultimate real accountability is that, can you deal with the negative consequences or the negative feedback that comes along with your actions? If you can't, then why are you advocating for doing similar things as men? Because we take the good with the bad. If we suffer, we suffer. If we win, we get all of the glory. But you don't get that when you get to be a helpmeet, but you get to be the beneficiary of our greatness.
So here's my take. Men should be men. Women should be women. Ladies, men don't want to date a female version of themselves. We don't need a copy and paste version of each other. We need balance. Anyway, that's it for today. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I know this one's going to stir up some opinions. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.